So you are in the second year of electrical electronics engineering, and the subject circuit theory, the idea of circuit and all these things is you are already having right from high school stage, 11th, 12th, even the first year. But still, I would like to pose you with some challenging questions, which I am sure that you will find it difficult to answer. And based on the answers which I received, we move ahead. Basically, try to answer the questions. These are very fundamental questions. The first and foremost question, we talk of electric circuit. When we talk of electric circuit, there is a concept of, means we are well aware of the terms charge, voltage, current. At least charge, voltage and current, we are quite aware, familiar of these terms, as if we use them, as if we are having complete knowledge of these terms. So based on that, if a question is asked now, and a thinking time of 1 minute will be given, and after that thinking, you don't answer instantly, because even though the question you will prima facie feel to be quite simple, you don't attempt answering it immediately. My question is, which I am sure that you are not exposed to such question till now. My question is, what is electric charge? Everybody should look at the whiteboard and think. The question is quite simple. What is electric charge? What are various ways with which you can think on it and answer? Have you come across this question earlier? Whether someone else has asked you or whether you have asked it to yourself? लक्षात आहे का? हा प्रश्न तुम्हाला पूर्वी कोणी विचारलाय का किंवा तुम्ही स्वतःला विचारलाय का? The question is, what is electric charge? Anybody? Now I think thinking time is over. So everyone must have some or other kind of opinion on it. What is a very simple question? What is electric charge? Anyone from here?
Particle produced due to electric field. Particle produced due to electric field.
Particle. So let us elaborate. See, remember, I again appeal to you that listen this lecture very carefully and try to get connected by participating in the discussion. He says it's particle. Anybody else? And he also used one more term there. What is that? Electric field. See, now listen very carefully, I again repeat. So, to explain electric charge, he is he is trying to describe the very entity of electric charge by using electric field. Means it is just like, suppose that you want to learn French, and I bring a teacher from Germany to teach you French. What will happen? If a teacher from Germany is brought to teach you French, he will teach you French through German medium, which you are again unaware of. So, and the question, and listen very carefully. Don't discuss among yourselves unless I specifically tell. Listen very carefully. The answer to the question, what is electric charge, should include those words which are completely known to me. लक्षात आलं का? इलेक्ट्रिक चार्ज म्हणजे काय हे सांगताना इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड या संज्ञेचा वापर करायचा नाही का तेच मला माहित नाही. Are you getting me? आणि हे जर तुम्हाला खूप सोपं हायस्कूल मध्ये लेवल वाटत असेल तर तुम्ही इन्स्टंटली आन्सर दिलं पाहिजे. सी you will find that, oh sir, such questions are never asked. Are we in an engineering college? You are asking very childish questions. To prove that my questions are childish, what you should have first? Answer them instantly. If you answer them instantly and then tell, no sir, don't waste the time of hours in such childish questions, have some meaningful discussion. But anybody has got answer to this question? What is charge? What is electric charge? See, what we can say, we can describe it in both ways. म्हणजे इलेक्ट्रिक चार्ज माहीत नसलेली विद्यार्थी सेकंड इयर इंजिनियर सेकंड इयरला पोहोचलेले आहेत असं एक त्याचा विधारक वर्णन करू शकतो. किंवा इलेक्ट्रिक चार्ज माहीत नसताना सुद्धा त्यांनी फर्स्ट इयरचं व्यवस्थित पास करून ते पोहोचलेले आहेत, ज्यामध्ये बेसिक इलेक्ट्रिकल आणि बेसिक इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजिनिअरिंग सब्जेक्ट होता, 11वी-12वी होतं. सो युअर पास म्हणजे सो हाऊ इट डिपेंड ऑन हाऊ यू लुक एट इट. एनीबडी नाव कॅन कॉमेंट ऑन व्हॉट इज इलेक्ट्रिक चार्ज? व्हॉट इज इलेक्ट्रिक चार्ज? मीन्स there is I don't know whether you have. Now what happens that I think that some vision missions and some other boards and all, it's a very classical way of learning approach. Abroad there is a well defined pedagogical science. म्हणजे शिक्षण प्रक्रिया कशी घडली पाहिजे, how teaching learning process should be. So what happens whenever a teacher utters something or the student comes across some material which he reads, some new terms which he has not yet listened are uttered. It is not only for engineering as such, for any general thing. For every word what we listen or what we read, there is a meaning attached to it, and there is a intellectual learning plane within. And now you just think of how it is taking place in AI model. AI model learning something, how it is taking place, and human model. In human model, within human mind, which itself is an abstraction, there is an intellectual learning plane. म्हणजे मानवी मनामध्ये what you are doing, hello, तुझं इंटलेक्च्युअल प्लेन त्या स्क्रीनवर आलंय. पुढे सो मानवी मनामध्ये की जे अमूर्त आहे, मी नवीन शब्द ऐकतो, त्या शब्दाचा समजा सपोज नाव there is a Kannada song which we listen. A song, I am again giving the example of song. When song is there, even though you don't understand words, you understand rhythm. But beyond that, nothing. And if you listen Kannada speech, normal text speech, not song. So you listen something, but now listen very carefully. But the word you listen through your ears, it goes to your brain, and in the brain, मला माहित नसलेल्या भाषेतला शब्द मी ऐकतो तेव्हा काय होतं, त्याला तसं काहीच होत असेल. आता what I meant, what happens when one listens a word in a language which he doesn't know, what kind of, when a word in unknown language is listened, the word I listen, there is a mapping table, word and meaning, and words in unknown language in the meaning table, there is index. On one hand, word means if you don't understand Kannada, still you can understand there are some words which are one is well aware of. Words you know means you know that this is some word in Kannada but meaning I don't know. When you listen one word, you go to that entry. You listen other words, so you are able to distinguish some different words in Kannada. This word. But in the mapping table, what is there? Mapping table madhe, on left hand side this word, meaning. It's blank. In the mapping table, there is no meaning attached to it. So, when you learn a new word, in English language or even, voltage, charge, electric charge, when you listen the word, and see now, AI based model is different, and human model, in the mapping table, before the word electric charge, some meaning is there in which language it is stored. It's not so easy. Are you getting me? Electric charge म्हटल्या क्षणी तुमच्या डोळ्यासमोर काहीतरी येतं. What it comes, that is stored there in meaning table, and the entries in the table are dynamic. So as you learn more, you refine the meaning and some picture comes before your intellectual plane. And remember, blinds also can understand. So that intellectual plane does not require your eyes. Without eyes, you can see something in your internal plane which even blinds can see. So my question is, so what is, right now, you have got a pseudo understanding of the word electric charge. What do you mean by pseudo understanding? That what you are doing, you are searching mapping table entries. Look here. In the mapping table, for the word electric charge, everyone has his own way. Try to write something there, which the moment means when I utter electric charge, all of you understand something that may not be same. When the word electric charge is uttered, every individual, being student of an engineering course, is aware of what it means, but what it means to A is not same what it means to B. So the question is now, means despite that, things are progressing. So the question now is, after this much discussion, at least somebody should stand and say, what is electric charge? मी खूपच सोपा प्रश्न विचारतोय आणि अगदी हायस्कूल लेवलची चर्चा करतो असं का तुम्हाला वाटत असेल, then stand up and prove me wrong. That is option is always with you. Sir, this is electric charge. Why you are unnecessarily wasting time? Anybody? Now next question. Whether electric charge is a reality or an abstraction, assumption, imagination, fantasy. इलेक्ट्रिक चार्ज हे वास्तव आहे का संकल्पना आहे? Is it a fact or postulate? What is postulate? Postulateला मराठीत काय म्हणतात? बर, तुम्ही आता असे काही ग्रेट ब्रिटनचेच नागरिक नाही आहे की एव्हरीथिंग सी नाव अंडरस्टँड the worst scenario of teaching learning process is English medium learning in teaching learning in India. म्हणजे भारतामध्ये इंग्लिश मीडियम मध्ये जे शिक्षण आहे त्यासारखा शिक्षण प्रक्रियेचा खेळखंडोबा कुठं होत नाही. ज्या शिक्षक बोलतो त्याला इंग्लिश येत नसतं पहिला. येत नसतं म्हणजे काय? द टीचर constructs the sentence in Marathi first, then he translates into English within, then he utters, then students listen, they translate in Marathi and then try to understand. That should not happen. Means you should be able to, when we talk something, they are forced, whether, see, everything is important. Otherwise, formulating all these things, it has no meaning unless you understand the crux. When anybody talks something, it operates at 4 levels. How it starts, do you know? There are 4 stages. Last is tongue, when it appears there. ज्याला वैखरी म्हणतात. परा, पश्चंती, मध्यमा आणि वैखरी. या 4 टप्प्यातून मी जे बोलतो त्याचा मी पहिल्यांदा विचार करतो. विचार परा, मला तो विचार स्फुरतो. पश्चंती, मग तो मी थोडा अधिक हे करतो, कन्सॉलिडेट करतो. मध्यमा, कसा हे अजून फर्दर कन्सॉलिडेशन आणि फॉर्मेशन, आणि मग येणे. सो हार्डली एनीबडी इन इंडिया इज हॅव्हिंग इंग्लिश ॲट ऑल 4 स्टेजेस. परा, पश्चिंती, मध्यमा, वैखरी. फक्त वैखरीवर इंग्लिश आहे, परा, पश्चिंती, मध्यमावर मराठीच आहे. त्यामुळं सो इट इज प्रोसेस ऑफ अंडरस्टँडिंग इट सेल्फ इज अ व्हेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स थिंग. सो नाव म्हणून हे कुठं आलं? पॉस्च्युलेट. म्हणजे आय एम अनेबल टू अंडरस्टँड इंग्लिश वर्ड्स अनलेस आय नो देअर ट्रान्सलेशन मराठी, एक्सेप्ट सम वर्ड्स लाईक टेबल वगैरे. टेबलला मेज माहित नाही, काही माहित नसतं. टेबल हा मराठीतलाच आहे असा शब्द इतका तो रुळलेला आहे. अदर दॅन दॅट आय पॉस्च्युलेट. व्हॉट इज पॉस्च्युलेट? म्हणजे तुम्ही ब्रिटन ओरिजिनचे आहे का की पॉस्च्युलेटचा अर्थ तुम्हाला ऑटोमॅटिक कळला पाहिजे असं आहे का तुमचं? मग पॉस्च्युलेट म्हणजे काय? पॉस्च्युलेटचा मराठी अर्थ माहित नसेल तर तुम्हाला कळलंच नाही काही. व्हॉट इज मराठी पॉस्च्युलेट? What is that? We can tell Hindi meaning. Hindi and Marathi same. What is native meaning? Marathi or Hindi meaning of postulate? Anybody? Postulate हा आपण एक शब्द बोललो, याच्या पलीकडे काय तर आपल्याला ते आहे, ते बोलण्याचा काय अर्थ आहे का नाही? If you don't mean what you say, your saying is worthless. What is postulate? काय म्हणतो त्याला? गृहीतक. पॉस्च्युलेटला गृहीतक म्हणतात. ॲझम्पशनचं एक ॲझम्पशनच आहे ते, फक्त एका सायंटिफिक क्षेत्रातलं म्हटलं पॉस्च्युलेट म्हणतात. सो नाव द क्वेश्चन इज चार्ज रियालिटी और ॲब्स्ट्रॅक्शन. नाव लिसन व्हेरी केअरफुली. फॉर ए ब्लाइंड पर्सन, for a blind person, length is an abstraction. Blind, जन्मांध, नंतर अंत नाही, जन्मांध व्यक्तीला लांबी एक ॲब्स्ट्रॅक्शन आहे, कारण तो बघू शकत नाही. Are you getting me? For a blind person, there is, you describe that yes, there is some red color square of 3 by 4. Rectangle. Red. There is, if I say, a red color rectangle on the screen of the dimension 3 by 4. You say, yes, you have drawn it, sir. And what about blind person? How blind person will visualize a red rectangle on the screen? Right? Like that, इलेक्ट्रिक चार्ज शॉक मध्ये कळतो पण अदरवाइज कळत नाही. लक्षात आलं का? म्हणजे ब्लाइंड व्यक्तीला जसं व्हाईट बोर्डवरचा रंगीत चौकोन कळत नाही, व्हाईट बोर्ड आणि मी त्यात सुद्धा खूप हे केलेलं आहे. समजा लेंथच कळत नाही म्हणलं असतं मी, तर तुमच्यातला एखादा कोण विचार करता का माहित नाही मला, हा स्टाईलच आहे, याची लेंथ ही त्या ब्लाइंड पर्सनला कळत नाही असं मी म्हणलो असतो, तर तुम्ही काय उत्तर दिलं असतं माझं चुकीचं आहे दाखवाय करता? ब्लाइंड पर्सनची स्टाईल हातात घेईल आणि getting me? Blind person will hold the styles in the hand and try to see the dimension by touching it. So, length of actual entity is that way abstract but not fully abstract. But the size of his colored square on the screen is something for which there is no way for blind person to perceive it through his sensory organs. Then what imagination he prepares for dimension of a square, size of a colored square is what is called an abstraction. Like that, for even normal human being like us, there is no way by which I can perceive what is charge. म्हणजे शॉक सोडला तर मला चार्ज काय कळेल का? नाही. Is it right? So that is abstraction for me. It's not a reality. Now next question. Why two types of charges are there? Why two types of charges are there? Huh? Any other answer? Why two types of charges are there? Anyone? Because based on that we will be having very meaningful discussion further, which is quite practical. Anyone? No. Why? What is electric charge? Why at all two types of charge should be there? All these are the questions which do not have direct answer. So what human being tries to interpret? Things are happening in the world not because you are studying in the class. Are you getting me? Things happen in the world. What you are writing? You are writing what I am saying? Things are happening in the world not because we are studying in the class. So what we are studying in the class? What we are trying to do? We are means happening of the things out in the world is not the effect of our learning. These are happening on their own, and I am trying to interpret the reasons for their happening. So for that, everybody should look at the whiteboard. Listen very carefully. There is no need of any kind of what we can whisper and discuss amongst yourself. We assume something, we put set of rules, some assumption, some set of rules. Based on that, we predict something. And we conduct experiments. to match the prediction with the observation. If prediction matches with the observation, your postulate is correct. And if prediction doesn't match with the observation, you have to revert with your postulate. World has reached earlier, molecule was considered to be non-divisible. Then Dalton brought it to atom, then atom to particles, fundamental particles, then further Newton, it's endless. Means at no point of time human being can claim that his understanding of the world is complete. Right? Means what we are trying to do, we are trying to refine the postulates every time. There are some postulates. Einstein has postulated something. He has postulated that light rays bend near heavy mass. Then there were some students like someone like him asked, no sir, you are bluffing something. I want an experiment to prove it. Then Einstein said, oh yes, you are right. I should not say that you are teasing me, but I will show you the experiment. But for that, I need, he said, no sir, Kadi dakhav experiment karo. Then Einstein said that after 14 years, I will show you. What Einstein said, after 14 years I will show you. This discussion happened in the class in 1905. What Einstein said, light rays bend near heavy mass in 1905. He asked that time. Sir, experiment kadi. Einstein said in 1919. Why? Anybody knows this story? No? Because, you can search later on, the bending was so small that to have visible effect, it needed a mass like sun. And bending of rays because of sun cannot be seen unless there is a complete solar eclipse. So a complete solar eclipse means rays coming from a star which is on the other side of the sun, earth, sun and star on the other side. When we go on that side, that time we see the star, but sun, earth comes on this side, I can see the star. But sun doesn't come in between that time. And when I am on this side, sun comes in between. So if rays are to bend, when I am here, I should see star somewhere. And when I come on this side, I should see star at some other position. But when I come on this side, the problem is that in the daytime, sun is so bright that I can't see the rays. And in night time, I am on the other side, so I can't see the star. So when I can see the star, when the situation would be star, sun and me, and I can see the star, the earth is completely covered by, the sun is completely covered by moon. Between sun, moon, earth, sun rays are not coming, so those rays are visible. So for that, 14 years time was needed, and Einstein proved that time. Einstein proved it. So this is the journey. It's okay now? So what is the conclusion? What is charge is something. मी आता तुम्ही खुश कधी होणार? अरे एखादा विषय अवघड गेला, मग वाईट वाटत लागते. अरे हा पण फेल आहे. मग काय वाईट वाटायचं काय होते? तर when you become happy, first of all, when you say, so I don't know what is charge, you become panic, you become upset. But when you come to know that nobody knows what is charge, then so no need for me to worry at all. So now there are some attempts. काही जण काय सांगतात, charge is made up of, he is tried to say, protons and electrons. Protonचा काय म्हणजे charge is not made up of proton and electron. Proton is the smallest entity having charge. 1.6 into 10 to -19 coulombs. त्याच्या पलीकडे फोडता येत नाही चार्ज. So proton is the smallest entity, electron is negative charge smallest entity. Now again it is so, I don't know whether you have thought in this aspect. Suppose if and he said that there are forces, charges experience force, like charges experience repulsion force, unlike charges experience attractive force. If listen, answer my question now. If electrostatic force is the only force governing the world, what would have been the future of charges in such a world? जर इलेक्ट्रोस्टॅटिक फोर्स हा एकमेव फोर्स असला असता जगामध्ये, तर चार्जेस कुठे असायला पाहिजे होते? Listen very carefully. What would have been the future of charges in the universe where electrostatic force is the only force governing the things? पहिल्यांदा थोडे पॉझिटिव्ह आहेत, थोडे निगेटिव्ह आहेत, तर काय व्हायला पाहिजे? आणि ते नलिफाय न्यूट्रलाइज झाले पाहिजे. आफ्टर सच न्यूट्रलायझेशन ओनली पॉझिटिव्ह चार्जेस रिमेन. मग काय व्हायला पाहिजे? In the universe there was some what you are doing, look at the whiteboard. In the universe there were some positive charges, some negative charges. Positive charge quantity is more, negative charge quantity is less. Negative positively combined and annihilation म्हणजे नष्ट होणे. असे शब्द कुठेतरी ऐकता किंवा वाचता अर्थ कळत नाही म्हणून सांगायचा. सो दे कॅन्सल इच अदर, सोप्या शब्दात. सो सम पॉझिटिव्ह चार्जेस रिमेन. सो वेअर शुड दे लोकेट देमसेल्फ? If electrostatic force is the only force governing the universe, then what would have been the positioning of charges in such universe? कुठे जायला पाहिजे? आपल्या गावठी शब्द एक 2 कोटी क्वांटिटीचे पॉझिटिव्ह चार्ज होते, 1 कोटी क्वांटिटीचे निगेटिव्ह चार्ज होते. निगेटिव्ह पॉझिटिव्ह संपले. 1 कोटी काय युनिट काय साध्या भाषेत 1 करोड पॉझिटिव्ह चार्जेस राहिले. पण ते कुठं कसं ते कुठं असतील तसे चार्जेस? कुठं? ही से व्हॉट इज द प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ चार्जेस? लाईक चार्जेस रिपेल इच अदर, अनलाईक चार्जेस अट्रॅक्ट इच अदर. अगदी ॲनिमेशन महाभारत ॲनिमेशन केलं कोण तयार करा. पॉझिटिव्ह चार्जेस 2 कोटी, निगेटिव्ह 1 कोटी, त्यातले मिक्स झाले आणि स्पार्क पडला, असं चार्ज निघून नष्ट झाले. 1 कोटी पॉझिटिव्ह उरले. काय कुठे जातील ते? काय होतील? म्हणजे हाऊ सो वेअर डू यू फोर्स देम? लिसन व्हेरी केअरफुल ना. उदाहरण म्हणून example is given so that you can, the concept is what we can say punched fit into you. समजा असं लक्षात आलं, असं माहित नाही या युगात काय होईल, असं तुमच्या लक्षात आलं की आता इथे एक वर्ग आहे, वर्ग आपल्या एक अशी कुठेतरी हे चालली आहे, मीटिंग आहे कुठली तरी, किंवा मार्केट प्लेस आहे, आणि मार्केट प्लेसला असा एक व्हायरस आला, सगळ्या AI बेसवर होऊ शकतं. मार्केट प्लेसला तिथं जेवढे सगळे आहेत लोक, त्या सगळ्यांच्या डोक्यात असा व्हायरस आलाय की त्यानं प्रत्येकाच्या मनात असं लक्षात आलं की मी सोडून सगळे माझे शत्रू आहेत आणि ते मला मारायला उठलेले आहेत. ॲट मार्केट प्लेस, ॲट वन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम, a thought comes to everybody's mind that everybody except me is my foe and he will kill me. What will happen? ते कुठे जातील? आणि लेट्स से पूर्ण मोकळा, ग्राउंड इज ओपन. कसे जातील? एक तासावर ते कुठं असते आणि ती भीती कायम आहे. प्रत्येक आहे म्हणा, एक तासानं कुठं असतील? व्हॉट वुड बी द लोकेशन? एक 10 मिनिट, आणि सगळ्यांना प्रत्येकाला सगळ्यांच्या पासून लांब जायचंय. तर आफ्टर 10 minutes where will the position of all of them? कुठं? How? Where? How? And let us say again, all सगळे सेम आहेत, म्हणजे एका स्पीडनं सगळे सेम ताकदीचे आहेत, स्पीड त्यांचं पाण्याचं एकच आहे. तर काय होईल? आणखीन एक एक्झाम्पल दिलं तर काय होईल? का? तुला हे असतो ना, म्हणजे आउट ऑफ बॉक्स थिंकिंग आवडतो. एनिबडी एल्स लांब जाणार आहेत, काय शंका नाही. पण ते कसे असतील? एक 10 मिनिटांनी कुठे असतील? 10 मिनिटांनी आफ्टर, आणि 15 मिनिटांनी मीन्स राईट. सो हियर एक्झॅक्ट आन्सर. In such case, these people will be located on a sphere, on a circle at equal distance, and that would be ever expanding circle. Are you getting me? After 10 minutes, 100-meter radius circle, and all are equidistant, lamb hai. After 15 minutes, so each is running away. Circle will expand. It is for marketplace and human being. What happened for charge? So with this as a hint, now you can answer. Now with this as a hint, now charge. We say that charge is an infinitesimal. Now you are not proton. Proton is having some finite charge. So we are having a charge is comprised of infinitesimally small charges. Infinite enough. 1 crore is equal to infinite charge, infinite small charges of infinitesimal amount. म्हणजे आपण असं धरूया, थोडस 1.6 crore coulomb means what? 10⁻19 protons, you will say, right? 1.6 coulomb charge is what? 10⁻19 coulombs. So protons. So protons, small charge, large number of protons, finite charge. But we assume that proton पेक्षाही कमी charge असू शकतो. So infinitesimally small, infinite in number. सो किंवा तेथपर जायला नको. मग ते प्रोटॉन्स आपण अगदी खूप अवघड करायला नको. प्रोटॉन असू शकत नाही तसं म्हटलं तर, पण आहे असं गृहीत धरूया आपण. तर प्रोटॉन्स आहेत असं अगदी सोपं घेऊ आपण. म्हणजे जगामध्ये 2 कोटी प्रोटॉन होते, 1 कोटी इलेक्ट्रॉन होते. प्रोटॉन इलेक्ट्रॉन 1 कोटी मिक्स झाले, कॅन्सल झाले, 1 कोटी प्रोटॉन उरले. ते कुठे जातील? 1 कोटी किंवा 10⁻19 मिळूया आपण. 1.6 कुलॉम्ब चार्ज आहे. सो 10⁻19 इतके प्रोटॉन्स आहेत, ते कुठे जातील? He has given a hint of circle, but it is beyond circle now. Right. So these protons will find themselves equally spread off on an ever expanding sphere. अच्छा लगा बा, everybody should understand. जगामध्ये इलेक्ट्रिक फोर्स, इलेक्ट्रोस्टॅटिक फोर्स हाच एकमेव फोर्स असेल तर इलेक्ट्रिक चार्ज should distribute itself always, because the property is to reduce the density as far as possible. So the charge will get spread on a sphere whose radius is ever increasing. Right? Why this doesn't happen then? असं का होत नाही? Why atom doesn't combined means there are protons and electrons in the atom. Why it doesn't get recombination of them? What is the reason? What is the reason? Which one? Hmm? No, what you are saying, right, I will come to that. So, proton, let us talk of hydrogen atom. असं म्हणूया आपण की जगामध्ये फक्त हायड्रोजन ॲटम आहे. मग काय होईल? प्रोटॉन इलेक्ट्रॉन डोंट रिकम्बाईन बिकॉज फोर्स आहे म्हणजे लगेच त्याच दिशेने यायला पाहिजे असं नाही. सर सेंट्रिपेटल अर्थ सांगतो काय कुठला कोण सांगतो. युनिफॉर्म सर्क्युलर मोशन इज सच मोशन which can continue infinitely where there is a force but displacement is happening perpendicular to the force always, so no work is done, no power is dissipated, it is infinite. Earth revolving around or moon revolving around the earth like that, so electron revolves around that. That's one. Now let us go for helium nucleus. In helium nucleus electrons rotate, I agree, but why two protons, how they can remain in a nucleus? Why two protons remain together in nucleus? Why don't they quarrel with each other? Somebody said something, what is that? So, to keep protons together, there is another force called a nuclear force. And it has got two types actually. There is a strong and weak force. Moreover, there is one more force, that is magnetic force. And there is one more, gravitational. Now, electrostatic and magnetic are taken together, electromagnetic. So gravitational, there are three basic forces: gravitational force, electromagnetic force, and nuclear force. But in nuclear you separate to strong and weak. किंवा अगदी पाच म्हणू शकता: gravitational, electrostatic, magnetic, strong and weak. But normally gravitational, electromagnetic, strong and weak. These are the four forces. Fields also. So I hope that you have a great opportunity to complete the unfinished agenda of Einstein. What is that? What is that? Somebody answer. What is that? What is the unfinished agenda of Einstein? Anybody knows? You know? What about you? You don't know? Anybody from you? Unfinished agenda of Einstein. You know it? Einstein was, and see now that when you say